this is the writing that was inscribed. Mene, Mene, Tekel, and Parsin. This is the interpretation of the matter. Mene, God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Peres, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then Belshazzar gave the command, and Daniel was clothed with purple, a chain of gold was put around his neck, and a proclamation was made about him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. That very night, Belshazzar the Chaldean king was killed. And Darius the Mede received the kingdom, being about 62 years old. Chapter 6. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be throughout the whole kingdom, and over them 3 high officials, of whom Daniel was one, to whom these satraps should give account, so that the king might suffer no loss. Then this Daniel became distinguished above all the other high officials and satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Then the high officials and the satraps sought to find a ground for complaint against Daniel with regard to the kingdom. But they could find no ground for complaint or any fault, because he was faithful, and no error or fault was found in him. Then these men said, "We shall not find any ground for complaint against this Daniel unless we find it in connection with the law of his God." Then these high officials and satraps came by agreement to the king and said to him, "O King Darius, live forever." All the high officials of the kingdom, the prefects and the satraps, the counselors and the governors, are agreed that the king should establish an ordinance and enforce an injunction, that whoever makes petition to any god or man for 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the injunction and sign the document, so that it cannot be changed, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be revoked. Therefore King Darius signed the document and injunction. When Daniel knew that the document had been signed, he went to his house where he had windows in his upper chamber open toward Jerusalem. He got down on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he had done previously. Then these men came by agreement and found Daniel making petition and plea before his God. Then they came near and said before the king concerning the injunction, "O king, did you not sign an injunction that anyone who makes petition to any god or man within 30 days except to you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions?" The king answered and said, "The thing stands fast according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be revoked." Then they answered and said before the king, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or the injunction you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day." Then the king, when he heard these words, was much distressed, and set his mind to deliver Daniel, and he labored till the sun went down to rescue him. Then these men came by agreement to the king and said to the king, "Know, O king, that it is the law of the Medes and Persians that no injunction or ordinance that the king establishes can be changed."
Vietnam.
Then the king commanded, and Daniel was brought and cast into the den of lions. The king declared to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, deliver you." And a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that nothing might be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting. No diversions were brought to him, and sleep fled from him. Then at break of day the king arose and went in haste to the den of lions. As he came near to the den where Daniel was, he cried out in a tone of anguish. The king declared to Daniel, "O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions?" Then Daniel said to the king, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, and they have not harmed me, because was found blameless before him, and also before you, O king. I have done no harm. Then the king was exceedingly glad and commanded that Daniel be taken up out of the den.
Really?
So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no kind of harm was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. And the king commanded, and those men who had maliciously accused Daniel were brought and cast into the den of lions, they, their children, and their wives. And before they reached the bottom of the den, the lions overpowered him and broke all their bones in pieces. Then King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth. Peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in all my royal dominion people are to tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his dominion shall be to the end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Chapter 7. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel saw a dream and visions of his head as he lay in his bed. Then he wrote down the dream and told the sum of the matter. Daniel declared, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea, and four great beasts came up out of the sea, different from one another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. Then as I looked, its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and the mind of a man was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second one, like a bear. It was raised up on one side. It had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth, and it was told, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and behold, another, like a leopard, with 4 wings of a bird on its back. And the beast had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, terrifying and dreadful and exceedingly strong. It had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces and stamped what was left with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another horn, a little one, before which 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. As I looked, thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, its wheels were burning fire. A stream of fire issued and came out from before him. 1,000,000 served him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court sat in judgment, and the books were opened. I looked then because of the sound of the great words that the horn was speaking. And as I looked, the beast was killed, and its body destroyed and given over to be burned with fire. As for the rest of the beasts, their dominion was taken away, but their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, there came one like a son of man. And he came to the Ancient of Days, and was presented before him. And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. As for me, Daniel, my spirit within me was anxious, and the visions of my head alarmed me. I approached one of those who stood there, and asked him the truth concerning all this. So he told me and made known to me the interpretation of the things. These 4 great beasts are 4 kings who shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, forever and ever. Then I desired to know the truth about the 4th beast, which was different from all the rest, exceedingly terrifying, with its teeth of iron and claws of bronze, and which devoured and broke in pieces and stamped what was left with its feet, and about the 10 horns that were on its head. And the other horn that came up, and before which three of them fell,
Last one
a
up.
horn that had eyes and a mouth that spoke great
Here we
things,
go. Into a waist
and that seemed
flexion.
greater than its
Place the left hand
companion.
on the floor. Reach up.
As I looked, this horn made war with the saints and prevailed over them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given for the saints of the Most High. And the time came when the saints possessed the kingdom.
Higher square.
Thus he said,
Good. Let's come on down.
As for the fourth beast, there shall be a fourth kingdom on earth,
Other side.
which shall be different from all the kingdoms, and it shall devour the whole earth, and trample it down,
Man, do I
and
feel
break
you
it
guys
to
feel
pieces.
that? Good.
As for the 10 horns,
All right,
out of this
both hands
kingdom
down the floor.
10 kings
Put
shall
your hands
arise,
on
and
your
another
knees.
shall
Roll
arise
up.
after them.
Yes.
He shall be different from the former ones, and shall put down 3 kings.
Your head's the last thing to
He
come
shall
up.
speak words against the Most
Shins
High,
on the
and shall
chest.
wear out the
Stand
saints of
up
the
tall.
Most High,
That's the strategy.
and shall
Let's
think
get
to
busy with
change
some
the
push-ups first.
times
You
and
guys
the
ready to
law.
go? All
And
right,
they
here
shall
we
be
go.
given
This
into
is
his
it.
hand for a time,
Hands about 6
times,
inches wider than the
and
shoulders.
half a
Here's
time.
the pace. Down, hold,
But the court shall sit in judgment,
down,
and his
hold.
dominion shall be taken away, to be consumed and destroyed to the end.
Here we go. Let's check out these two.
And the
guys.
kingdom, and the dominion, and the greatness
Down,
of the
hold.
kingdoms under the whole
That's
heaven
the pace.
shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. His kingdom shall be an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Good form, these guys. Really good. Okay, let's go to
Here
some
is the
heavy
end of the
pants.
matter.
Heavy
As
pants,
for me,
back exercise.
Daniel, my thoughts greatly alarmed me, and my
Weight,
color
Sean's got the
changed,
resistance
but I
bands.
kept the matter
One
in my
foot's in
heart.
front of the other. You're gonna bend those knees. You're gonna reach down below your feet. Straight
Chapter
up.
8.
It's called heavy pants. You're pulling your pants right up.
In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first.
All the way up.
And I saw in the vision, and when I saw, I was in Susa the citadel, which is in the province of Elam.
You can reach a
And
little
I
bit
saw
lower, get
in
more
the
range of
vision,
motion.
and I was at the Ulai Canal. I raised my eyes and saw, and behold, a ram standing on the bank of the canal.
Nice straight back. Nobody's
It
gonna
had
get
2
hurt.
horns,
That's
and
really,
both
really
horns
important.
were high, but
Excellent
one
form,
was
guys.
higher
I wanna
than
hear
the
that
other,
breathing.
and the higher one came up last.
Nice. There you go.
I saw the ram charging westward and
We're
northward
almost there.
and
We're doing
southward.
military press next.
No beast
We're
could
almost
stand
finished.
before
Here we go
him,
with military
and there was
press.
no one who could rescue from his power.
Grab
He
your
did
weights,
as he pleased and
hands.
became great.
Guys all set up?
As I was considering, behold, a male goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth
Reach up
without
nice.
touching the ground.
Down.
And the goat had a conspicuous horn between his eyes.
Chest is up.
He
eyes
came
are
to the
forward.
ram with the 2
Good. You
horns,
have any
which I had
pressure on
seen
your lower
standing
back,
on the
that
bank
means
of the
weight's too
canal,
heavy.
and he ran at him in his powerful wrath. I saw him come close to the ram, and he was enraged against him, and struck the ram and broke his 2 horns.
Really, really, really good.
And the ram had no power to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled on him.
Nice straight
And there was no one who could rescue the ram from his power.
Excellent.
Then the goat became exceedingly great,
You're breathing.
but when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And instead of it, there came up 4 conspicuous horns
We're almost in a
toward the
bicep
4
curl.
winds of heaven. Out of one of them came a little horn, which grew exceedingly great toward
One
the
foot in
south,
front of the other,
toward the
chest up
east,
tall.
and toward the glorious
Right
land.
up.
It grew great even to the host of heaven.
Just like that.
And some of the
Make
host
sure the
and some
arms
of the
are all
stars it
very-
threw
all very
down to the
straight all
ground
way down.
and
Here we
trampled
go.
on
Let's
them.
check on the guys now.
It became great, even as great
Bend
as
those
the
knees just a
prince of the
touch.
host.
Sean,
And the regular burnt offering was taken away from him, and the place of his sanctuary was overthrown.
One foot's in front of the other.
And
The
a
reason why you
host
put
will
one
be
foot in
given
front of the
over
other
to
is
it
because it
together
helps
with the
your back.
regular burnt
If your
offering,
legs are locked
because
straight,
of
it's pressure
transgression,
on the lower back.
and it will throw truth to the ground,
Finish
and
it
it
up.
will act and prosper.
Boom.
Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to the one who spoke, For how long is the vision
That's it.
concerning the regular burnt offering,
Adjust your weights. If
the
necessary,
transgression
guys,
that
set up
makes
some
desolate,
one-arm called back
and the
scratch.
giving over of the sanctuary and
tricep.
host to be trampled underfoot?
Same thing with the feet.
And he said
Left
to me,
hand's on the hip. We're going to start
For
with the right hand.
2,300 evenings and mornings,
Drop it down.
then the sanctuary shall be restored to its rightful state.
Raise it up. Just like that.
When
See
I,
the straight line
Daniel,
from
had
here?
seen the
Really
vision, I sought to
boom.
understand
You
it.
also want to drop that arm.
And behold, there stood before me one having the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of the Ulai, and it called, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision.
Looking good.
So he came near
Nice
where I
and straight
stood,
from here to here.
and when
Heads
he
up,
came,
chest
I
up,
was
knees are
frightened and
bent.
fell on my face.
Sean, you look good.
But he said
Feel
to
that,
me,
guys?
Understand, O Son of Man, that the
Remember, you
vision
do
is for the
8 to 15
time of
reps
the
here.
end.
And we switch sides right away, right over the
And
left
when
side.
he had spoken to me, I fell into a deep sleep with my face to the ground.
5 reps to
But
go.
he touched me and
Let's
made me
finish
stand
them
up.
off.
He said, "Behold, I will make known to you what shall be at the latter end of the indignation," for it refers to the appointed time of the end.
That's right.
As for
Guys are
the
done.
ram that you
Pop
saw
off
with
the
the two
other side,
horns,
switch the feet,
these
right
are the
hand
kings
on
of
the hip,
Media and Persia,
reach it up tall.
and the goat is the king
Same
of
form,
Greece,
identical form
and the
other
great
side.
horn between his
Nice and
eyes
straight
is
at
the
top.
first king.
Reach it up tall.
As for the horn that
Make
was
sure you
broken,
breathe.
in
Bend
place
those
of which
knees, you
four
guys.
others
It's the
arose,
one that never changes.
four
That's like
kingdoms
any of
shall
these
arise from
exercises.
his nation, but
If you
not
got a
with his
shoulder
power.
issue, remember, you can always do a kick
And at the latter
exercise
end
like
of their
this.
kingdom, when the transgressors have reached their limit,
Shoulder.
the king of bold face,
Yeah, you got it. You're doing
one
it.
who understands riddles, shall
Knees are
arise.
bent, back is straight.
His
Hands are
power shall be
perfect.
great,
You don't need any
but
help.
not by his own
Fantastic.
power.
Nice and straight.
And he shall cause fearful destruction, and shall succeed in what he does, and destroy mighty men and the people who are the saints. By his cunning he shall make deceit prosper under his hand, and in his own mind he shall become great.
Last one. Boom.
Without
Let's go
warning
lunge.
he shall
Clear
destroy
floor.
many, and he shall even rise up against the prince of princes, and he shall be broken,
Two in this
but by
direction.
no human hand.
Nice and tall.
The vision of
Ready
the
to go.
evenings
Here we
and the
go.
mornings
Right
that
leg
has been
first.
told is
These
true,
are the ankle.
but seal up the vision,
Left leg.
for it refers to many days from now.
Boom. Let's turn.
And I, Daniel, was overcome and lay sick for some days.
Back legs are nice and
Then
straight.
I
you
rose
guys.
and went about the
Boom.
king's
Make sure that
business,
knee's over the ankle.
but I was appalled by the vision
Here we go.
and did not understand it.
Bam. Back leg straight. Let's see the form. Good. Get that knee up a little
Chapter
bit.
9.
Nice. There you go. Turn for me.
In the first year of Darius the son of Ahasuerus, by descent of Mede, who was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans,
Good, good.
in the first year of his reign,
And turn.
I,
Last
Daniel,
one. Come on.
perceived in the books the number
Take
of
that back
years
leg for me,
that,
Sean. I know
according
you
to
can
the
do
word
it.
of the Lord to
Big
Jeremiah
strong
the
guy like
prophet,
you. Come on.
must pass before the end of the desolations of
Ready
Jerusalem,
to come back.
namely 70 years.
Lisa, good. Your posture's good.
Then
Your
I turned my
balance's good.
face to the Lord God, seeking him by prayer and pleas for mercy, with fasting and
Bring around
sackcloth
one.
and
We're gonna
ashes.
stretch. First thing we
I
stretch.
prayed to the Lord my
quads.
God
Just
and made
feet.
confession,
All right.
saying,
So grab an
O
ankle.
Lord, the great and awesome God,
Get
who
that
keeps
core.
covenant
Feel
and
that.
steadfast
Stand
love
tall.
with those who love him and keep his commandments.
For a few beats.
We have sinned and done wrong and acted
And
wickedly and
sides.
rebelled,
Now remember,
turning
you don't have
aside
superior
from your
balance.
commandments and
Superior balance,
rules.
you can always use a chair or a wall to
We have
support
not listened
yourself.
to your servants, the prophets,
Okay.
who spoke in your name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the
Now go back
people
to
of the
right leg.
land.
We're going to stretch the calf and the
To you,
hamstring.
O Lord,
Right leg
belongs
out.
righteousness, but to us open shame, as at this day, to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel, those who are near and those who are far away, in all the lands to which you have driven them,
You guys feel that stretch?
because of the treachery that they have committed against you.
Here we go. This side.
To us, O Lord, belongs open shame, to our kings, to our princes,
Let's get the
and to
shoulders.
our fathers,
Because we use them
because
every
we have
time.
sinned against you. To the Lord our God belong mercy and forgiveness, for we have rebelled against him and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, by walking in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. All Israel has transgressed your law and turned aside, refusing to obey your voice. And the curse and oath that are written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, have been poured out upon us, because we have sinned against him. He has confirmed his words which he spoke against us and against our rulers who ruled
See you
us,
guys.
by bringing upon us a great calamity.
Backs are straight.
For
stomachs are
under the
tight,
whole heaven
nice,
there
deep.
has not been done anything like what has been done against Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this calamity has come upon us.
These guys are going to work.
Yet we have not entreated the favor of the Lord our God, turning from our iniquities and gaining insight by your
We're
truth.
almost there. Remember, 8 to 15 reps.
Therefore the Lord has kept ready the calamity and has brought it upon us.
Down, hold.
For the Lord our God is righteous in all the works that he has done, and we have not obeyed his voice.
Hold.
And now, O Lord our God, who brought your people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and have made a name for yourself, as at this day,
Like heavy pants.
we
Same
have
position.
sinned, we have done wickedly. O
Flying like a
Lord,
bird.
according to all your righteous acts, let your anger and your wrath turn away from your city Jerusalem, your holy hill, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and your people have become a byword among all who are around us. Now therefore, O our God, listen to the prayer of your servant and to his pleas for
What you don't
mercy,
want to do is
and
make
for
the
your
shoulder
own sake, O
exercise.
Lord.
All right?
Make your face to shine upon your sanctuary,
Lower
which is
back,
desolate.
top of the neck. You got a few few more
Oh my
reps. Here we
God,
go.
incline your ear
Here we go.
and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations and the city that is called by your name.
Next,
For we do not
swimmer's
present our
press.
pleas
Looks
before
like
you
the
because of
standard
our
press,
righteousness,
but you're gonna
but
corkscrew it
because
up,
of your
bring it
great
down.
mercy.
You guys ready?
O
Looks
Lord,
like this.
hear.
Knees
O
are bent
Lord,
still, back and
forgive.
straight. Chest is up.
O Lord, pay
Place
attention
them right here
and
at the top of
act.
the pearl.
Delay
Straighten
not,
out.
for your own sake, O my God,
Just
because
like
your
that,
city
you
and
got
your people
peace.
are called by your
Remember,
name.
guys, it's the first
While I was speaking
program.
and
1, 2,
praying,
don't overdo it
confessing
with the
my
weights.
sin and the
A lot
sin
of
of my
pressure here
people
on the shoulders.
Israel, and presented my plea before the
Adjust
Lord
your
my
weight
God
accordingly.
for the
See
holy
how
hill
it
of my
feels.
God, while I was speaking in prayer,
4, nice, you
the
down.
man Gabriel, whom I had
His
seen in
resistance
the
bands
vision
really
at the
work, don't
first,
they, Sean?
came to
Hey,
me
he's
in
getting a
swift
workout.
flight at the time of the
good.
evening sacrifice.
Oh, good. You want to come nice and
He
low down
made
the
me
bottom of the curl
understand,
movement.
speaking with
Okay,
me
if I
and
can bring those
saying,
elbows back, you guys
"O
will be-
Daniel, I have
Yeah,
now come out to give you insight and understanding.
Okay, a few
At the
left.
beginning of your pleas for mercy, a word went out, and I have come to tell it to you, for you are greatly loved. Therefore consider
Right
the
from
word
here, get
and
your weights,
understand the vision.
get them adjusted.
70 weeks are decreed about your
One
people
foot
and
in
your
front of the
holy
other,
city,
knees are bent,
to finish
chest
the
is up.
transgression,
Open up
to
those
put
hands
an
off to the
end
side
to sin,
and curl.
and to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting
Never lose your posture,
righteousness,
really important.
to
Don't
seal
bend
both
over.
vision and profit,
Straighten the arms at the
and
bottom,
to anoint a most
all the
holy
way
place.
open, and then all the way through.
Know therefore and understand that from the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem,
Nice,
to
straight
the
arm.
coming of an anointed one, a prince,
Straighten that arm, back and
there
straight,
shall
head
be
is up.
7 weeks.
Really tones up the
Then for
biceps.
62
Great
weeks it
exercise.
shall be built
Nice
again with
breathing.
squares and moat.
Looking good.
but
Remember,
in a
8
troubled
to 15
time.
reps, whatever you can do. We're
And
gonna
after
do
the
15,
62 weeks,
okay?
an anointed one shall be cut off and shall have
4
nothing.
left. Here we go.
And
We're
the
gonna
people of
finish
the
off
prince
with
who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come with a
Here we
flood,
go.
and to the
Last
end
one.
there shall be war. Desolations
Now
are
we got
decreed,
2 arm kickbacks.
and he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abomination shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolated.
Bam. Let's see.
Chapter 10.
Good.
In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, the word was revealed to Daniel, who was named Belteshazzar. And the word was true, and it was a great conflict. And he understood the word and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning for 3 weeks. I ate no delicacies, no meat or wine entered my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all for the full 3 weeks. On the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river, that is the Tigris, I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a man clothed in linen, with a belt of fine gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like beryl, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze, and the sound of his words like the sound of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. For the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great trembling fell upon them, and they fled to hide themselves. So I was left alone and saw this great vision, and no strength was left in me. My radiant appearance was fearfully changed, and I retained no strength. Then I heard the sound of his words, and as I heard the sound of his words, I fell on my face in deep sleep with my face to the ground. And behold, a hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and knees. And he said to me, O Daniel, man greatly loved, understand the words that I speak to you, and stand upright, for now I have been sent to you. And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself before your God, your words have been heard, and I have come because of your words. The prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, but Mikhail, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I was left there with the kings of Persia, and came to make you understand what is to happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision is for days yet to come. When he had spoken to me according to these words, I turned my face toward the ground and was mute. And behold, one in the likeness of the children of man touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and
Let's get the
spoke.
right hamstring and
I
calf.
said to him who stood before me, O my Lord, by reason of the vision, pains have come upon me, and I retain no strength. How can my Lord's servant talk with my Lord? For now no strength remains in me, and no breath is left in me.
Here we go.
Again one having the appearance of a man touched me and strengthened
Let's do
me.
it again.
And he said, O man greatly loved, fear not, peace be with you.
Back a little
Be
bit.
strong and of
Okay,
good
round 3,
courage.
7, 7, and 7. Right on
And
the
as he
floor.
spoke to me, I was strengthened and said, Let my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me.
Down.
Then he said, Do you know why I have come to you? But now I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. And when I go
Sean, you
out,
get wider than that. Come
behold,
on.
the prince of Greece will
Yeah,
come.
that's nice and wide.
But I will tell you what is inscribed in the book of
Head is
truth.
straight. Stomach and
There
back
is
is
none
nice
who
and tight. Make sure
contends
to
by my
breathe.
side against these,
Good,
except
good.
Mikhail, your
We're going
prince.
to switch over to the close ones. Let's go. Nice and tight.
Chapter
Just
11.
like that. Hold down.
And as for me, in the first year of Darius the Mede,
Down. See how
I
close
stood
my
up
hands
to
are?
confirm and strengthen him.
Elbows
And
gotta
now
be
I will show you
tight.
the
Don't let those
truth.
elbows flare on us.
Behold, 3 more kings shall arise in Persia, and a fourth shall be far richer than all of them. And when he has become strong through his riches, he shall stir up all against the kingdom of Greece.
All right.
Then a mighty king shall arise, who shall rule with great dominion and do as he wills. And as soon as he has arisen, his kingdom shall be broken and divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, but not to his posterity, nor according to the authority with which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up and go to others besides these. Then the king of the south shall be strong, but one of his princes shall be stronger than he and shall rule. And his authority shall be a great authority. After some years they shall make an alliance. And the daughter of the king of the south shall come to the king of the north to make an agreement. But she shall not retain the strength of her arm, and he and his arm shall not endure. But she shall be given up, and her attendants, he who fathered her, and he who supported her in those times. And from a branch from her roots one shall arise in his place. He shall come against the army, and enter the fortress of the king of the north, and he shall deal with them and shall prevail. He shall also carry off to Egypt their gods with their metal images and their precious vessels of silver and gold, and for some years he shall refrain from attacking the king of the north. Then the latter shall come into the realm of the king of the south, but shall return to his own land. His sons shall wage war and assemble a multitude of great forces, which shall keep coming and overflow and pass through, and again shall carry the war as far as his fortress. Then the king of the south, moved with rage, shall come out and fight against the king of the north, and he shall raise a great multitude, but it shall be given into his hand. And when the multitude is taken away, his heart shall be exalted, and he shall cast down tens of thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall again raise a multitude, greater than the first. And after some years he shall come on with a great army and abundant supplies. In those times many shall rise against the king of the south, and the violent among your own people shall lift themselves up in order to fulfill the vision, but they shall fail. Then the king of the north shall come and throw up siege works and take a well-fortified city. And the forces of the south shall not stand, or even his best troops, for there shall be no strength to stand. But he who comes against him shall do as he wills, and none shall stand before him. And he shall stand in the glorious land with destruction in his hand. He shall set his face to come with the strength of his whole kingdom, and he shall bring terms of an agreement and perform them. He shall give him the daughter of women to destroy the kingdom, but it shall not stand or be to his advantage. Afterward he shall turn his face to the coastlands and shall capture many of them. But a commander shall put an end to his insolence. Indeed, he shall turn his insolence back upon him. Then he shall turn his face back toward the fortresses of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall and shall not be found. Then shall arise in his place one who shall send an exactor of tribute for the glory of the kingdom. But within a few days he shall be broken, neither in anger nor in battle. In his place shall arise a contemptible person to whom royal majesty has not been given. He shall come in without warning, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. Armies shall be utterly swept away before him and broken, even the prince of the covenant. And from the time that an alliance is made with him, he shall act deceitfully, and he shall become strong with a small people. Without warning he shall come into the richest parts of the province, and he shall do what neither his fathers nor his fathers' fathers have done, scattering among them plunder, spoil, and goods. He shall devise plans against strongholds, but only for a time. And he shall stir up his power and his heart against the king of the south with a great army. And the king of the south shall wage war with an exceedingly great and mighty army, but he shall not stand, for plots shall be devised against him. Even those who eat his food shall break it. His army shall be swept away, and many shall fall down slain. And as for the two kings, their hearts shall be bent on doing evil. They shall speak lies at the same table, but to no avail, for the end is yet to be at the time appointed. And he shall return to his land with great wealth, but his heart shall be set against the holy covenant, and he shall work his will and return to his own land. At the time appointed he shall return and come into the south, but it shall not be this time as it was before, for ships of Kittim shall come against him, and he shall be afraid and withdraw, and shall turn back and be enraged and take action against the holy covenant. He shall turn back and pay attention to those who forsake the holy covenant. Forces from him shall appear and profane the temple and fortress, and shall take away the regular burnt offering. And they shall set up the abomination that makes desolate. He shall seduce with flattery those who violate the covenant, but the people who know their God shall stand firm and take action. And the wise among the people shall make many understand, though for some days they shall stumble by sword and flame, by captivity and plunder. When they stumble, they shall receive a little help, and many shall join themselves to them with flattery. And some of the wise shall stumble, so that they may be refined, purified, and made right, until the time of the end, for it still awaits the appointed time. And the king shall do as he wills. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak astonishing things against the God of gods. He shall prosper till the indignation is accomplished, for what is decreed shall be done. He shall pay no attention to the gods of his fathers, or to the one beloved by women. He shall not pay attention to any other god, for he shall magnify himself above all. He shall honor the God of fortresses instead of these. A God whom his fathers did not know, he shall honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. He shall deal with the strongest fortresses with the help of a foreign god. Those who acknowledge him, he shall load with honor. He shall make them rulers over many, and shall divide the land for a price. At the time of the end, the king of the south shall attack him, but the king of the north shall rush upon him like a whirlwind, with chariots and horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall come into countries and shall overflow and pass through. He shall come into the glorious land, and tens of thousands shall fall, but these shall be delivered out of his hand, Edom and Moab, and the main part of the Ammonites. He shall stretch out his hand against the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. He shall become ruler of the treasures of gold and of silver, and all the precious things of Egypt, and the Libyans and the Cushites shall follow in his train. But news from the east and the north shall alarm him, and he shall go out with great fury to destroy and devote many to destruction. And he shall pitch his palatial tents between the sea and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, with none to help him.